Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing the 2015 NHL playoffs with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. We're going to take a look right now at the Game 1 lines for Minnesota-Chicago. Joe Duffy, thanks so much for doing this with us.
Thank you for having me, Peter.
All right, what an interesting series right now. Game 1, Chicago at home, minus 135. Minnesota's plus 122 on the other side. And the total is 5, slightly juiced to the under right now. Pinnacle, the under is minus 114. The over is plus 103. We've kind of been agreeing on and most of our picks have been on totals so far in the playoffs. Chicago beat Nashville in 6, and 5 out of those 6 games went over. Chicago's offense was clicking, and Pekka Rinne, maybe had some knee injuries in that series. Minnesota, even in their series against St. Louis, it went 2-1-3 over under, but they have such a great goalie in Dubnyk. We don't know what we're really going to get from Chicago in goal. I think I would leave the total aside for now in Game 1. And I think I'd go with either Minnesota plus 122, or maybe even better, I take the Minnesota team total over, which would be, I guess, about 2.5 and maybe a little bit of a plus money there. I don't know. I think Minnesota could steal it. Is plus 122 enough for me to want to take it as a pick? Yes, I think so. What do you think, Joe?
Well, I am going to go with the over, but not a team total. I'm going to go with the game to go over the total. Obviously, as you said, Chicago's offense is back when they've got Taves and King, guys who have tremendous playoff resumes. They've come up big. And remember, neither one of these teams are that deep on defense. I mean, Chicago is very good top 4 defensemen. Minnesota, they've been relying a lot on their top 2 defensemen. And I think that Minnesota knows they've got to exploit that Chicago power play, why they're struggling. So they may open it up a bit. Corey Crawford, granted, we've seen him play well in the playoffs in the past, but lately, he hasn't been very good as of late. So I do think that Minnesota, and as well as Dubnyk has been, as far as whether or not the long-term, I think Chicago has to try to get to him, realizing he's not a guy that has that long-term resume, and see if they can get in his head. So I expect this to be fairly wide open for a playoff game, and I do expect it to go over the total.
All right, this is a tough one. Right now, over 5 is plus 103. And yeah, I guess just the big question is Dubnyk going to pitch a shutout or not? And you think probably not. Chicago should be able to get to him for at least 1 or 2?
I don't think that either team, when I really look at the matchups, I think that both teams have a little motivation to kind of open it up a little bit in Game 1. I don't expect either team's going to deviate drastically from their game plans, but I do think that they will not play a conservative style.
Okay, Joe Duffy, thanks so much.